What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for MLB Monday, July 31st. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's MLB slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we have a 9-game MLB slate tonight, so let's take a look at the pitcher position. So I like Seth Lugo. He's got a nice pitching advantage here over the Colorado Rockies. Seth Lugo is only giving up a .627 OPS versus righties, facing 4 righties here tonight. But I like this pick because the Rockies have only hit 3 of his last 26 pitches. That's a 115 batting average. So Seth Lugo is $8,600 FanDuel salary, $2,000 less on DraftKings, averaging 30 fantasy points per game on the season. He has an ERA of 3.62. Record is 4-5. Pitching an average of 89 pitches per game, and he's been on fire, scoring 43 fantasy points in his last 2 games, pitching 6 and 7 innings. Now, Vegas does think that this is going to be a high-scoring game. 11.5 runs scored in this game. That's their over/under. But I like Seth Lugo if you're looking to save some salary here versus the Colorado Rockies. Okay, let's take a look at the first base position, the catcher first base position. I like Yandy Diaz, and he's batting against Domingo Germán. Yandy Diaz batting a .877 OPS versus righties. Domingo Germán pitching his worst ball versus righty batters, 12% worse than his pitch to lefties, giving up a .723 OPS versus righties. Now I like this pick because Yandy Diaz is 7 for 20 here versus Germán. It's a .350 batting average, and he has a 1.108 OPS. He's got 3 doubles and a home run in there. Pretty big sample size here, and he's only $3,300 FanDuel salary, $1,500 more on DraftKings, averaging 12 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored fantasy points in 4 out of his last 5 games. So I like Yandy Diaz here versus Domingo Germán. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won. And then we'll send you $25 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, let's take a look at the second base position. So I like Ketel Marte. He's batting against Alex Cobb. Ketel Marte batting a .891 OPS versus righties. Alex Cobb giving up a .699 OPS versus lefties. Now, I don't like the batter versus pitcher matchup here. He's only 2 for 11 here versus Cobb. That's a 182 batting average, so that is a little bit scary, but the splits are decent here. I mean, he's got a good matchup, a decent matchup. He's $3,400 FanDuel salary, $2,000 more on DraftKings, averaging 12 fantasy points per game on the season, and he scored fantasy points in all 5 of his last games, and he has a batting average of .296. So everything looks good except for the batter versus pitcher matchup, but sometimes you just got to look past some of these stats. The individual stats, got to look at the whole picture here. So I like Ketel Marte here versus Alex Cobb. Okay, let's take a look at the third base position. So I like Elly De La Cruz. It's a stud pick, but his salary is still reasonably low. especially on FanDuel, not so much on DraftKings, but I think it's a fantastic FanDuel play. So Ellie De La Cruz has a 24% batting advantage over Marcus Stroman, and he's batting 24% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .827 OPS versus righties. Marcus Stroman giving up a .671 OPS versus righties. So there's no at-bats versus Stroman yet. He's only $3,500 FanDuel salary, $2,400 more on DraftKings, averaging 13 fantasy points per game on the season. He went through a little slump that dropped his price down quite a bit, but now he's picking back up where he left off, and his salary is lagging a little bit here on FanDuel to catch back up to his production. He scored 31, 9, and 15 fantasy points in the last 3 games. Got a batting average of .277. So I like Ellie De La Cruz, especially on FanDuel here versus Marcus Stroman. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, let's take a look at the shortstop position. So here's a value play. I like J.P. Crawford. He's got a 44% batting advantage over a low-salary pitcher, Nick Pivetta. J.P. Crawford batting 36% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .857 OPS versus righties. Nick Pivetta giving up a .696 OPS versus lefties. Now, J.P. Crawford is 0 for 3 here versus Pivetta, but he's only $2,900 FanDuel salary and $500 more on DraftKings, and he's averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season. He's been on fire, scoring fantasy points in all 5 of his last games. Has a batting average of .265. So I like J.P. Crawford here versus Nick Pivetta. Okay, moving on to the outfield position. Stud pick that I like, Fernando Tatis Jr. Let's see if I got something else for you though here, or did I just leave? Yeah, I just got a stud pick for you on this one. We did save a lot of salary with our pitcher, so you should have some salary left over. This is a home run hitter here, Fernando Tatis Jr., going against a low salary pitcher, Austin Gomber. Fernando Tatis Jr. batting 23% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .985 OPS versus lefties. Now, Austin Gomber he's only given up a .789 OPS versus righties, which isn't awful. And Tatis Jr. is 1 for 5 here versus Gomber. That one hit was a double. So he's $4,500 FanDuel salary, $1,900 more on DraftKings, averaging 13 fantasy points per game on the season, has a batting average of .275, scored fantasy points in 4 out of his last 5 games. But Vegas does think this is going to be a high-scoring game. 11.5 runs scored in this game. So you got to imagine Fernando Tatis Jr. is going to get a piece of that. So I like Fernando Tatis Jr. here versus Austin Gomber. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this MLB slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.